Welcome to Mandara Loft. Today, I have to make an apology to the club. I let things get a little out of hand with someone making choices for me, calling around and things. If that's what's happened, we don't really know what happened. The idea was we were supposed to have a race. One of the members from the other club called and was concerned about the weather. And I said, well, if we need to cancel the race, we'll cancel it. I said, we'll follow it a little carefully and see what happens, but at the moment, let's say, yes, it's canceled. In the meantime, other members called, and they wanted to know if we were racing. I says, we're going to wait a little bit. I made a decision later. I had made first decision to cancel. I changed my mind come Saturday afternoon. It looked like it was coming into our favor. And I says, well, maybe we'll go ahead and do it. So the man who has the truck, I called him, Efron, and he says, the weather was going to be bad, he didn't want to do it. I said, well, we're going to send. Then he changed his mind, he says, well, I got to work on my truck. And I says, okay, well, if you have to work on your truck, well, that kind of settles it. Then we have no race. Later that afternoon, one of the Cubans had to get rid of his birds, and birds were up for sale. And I tried to call them. I didn't have their numbers, so I called Efron back. I called him about 5 times. I couldn't reach him. I called his brother. Couldn't reach him. Well, finally, I got a hold of him, and he says, oh, I was hunting. I says, oh, okay. Well, I wanted to buy some birds from your cousin, and that was that. And I started thinking about it, and I says, he was supposed to be working on the truck. So somebody must have put a bug in his ear, and he was afraid of losing his pigeons. Well, the next day came, it's time to race pigeons. Birds were supposed to be up in the air, and we didn't have our race. It turned out to be a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day all the way up the coast. One person said that it was raining in Georgia. Other people say, no, it wasn't raining in Georgia. It was cloudy. It was going to get rain. They didn't get rain. And if they were supposed to get it, was supposed to be in the afternoon, birds would have been out of Georgia into Florida. We would have had a good race. Needless to say, we didn't have the race. Things didn't happen because I let things get taken away from me. And I just want to apologize to Raymond. I know Raymond wanted to fly. Tim Persky wanted to fly. I wanted to fly. And Bobby Rodriguez wanted to fly up there. That left 2 other guys that didn't want to fly. And we could have had the race. And I didn't do it because we thought we had no truck. But the next time it's going to be, we'll put the birds in the back of my pickup because there was very few pigeons, and we could have had the race and drove ourselves and continued. One person told me, he says it was not sanctioned because you need 3 flyers to fly. Well, 3 flyers for a charter, but the race was going to be, that makes the race on. So if you didn't fly, that's your choice. It's not like he was forced to do it. I remember a couple of years ago, Charlie won a race, and Tony Mendez's pigeons were sick. He didn't send them. And Steve Martin had trouble. He didn't send them. Charlie was the only one in the club. Charlie won the race. Nobody said it had to be sanctioned. They had enough members. It was those people's choice not to send their birds. Well, this is the same case over here. It would have been 1 guy, maybe 2 would have shipped. I think Steve Martin would have went. Steve is a die-hard flyer. The only one who wouldn't have was Tony, because Tony felt the weather was bad, and that's his choice. The other guy wanted to fly, Bobby. But I had gotten calls from different people. And I talked to Pablo. Pablo thought it was a good day. I thought it was a good day. Raymond thought it was a good day. We had enough people saying yes, it was a good day to make that choice. And because we didn't have the truck, I didn't do it. But we could have put 3 crates in the back of my truck and we would have had a race. We didn't need to pull the trailer. And who wanted it? It was available. And it was a bad call on my part. And sorry to the members for letting it get out of hand. I promise it won't happen again. It seems whenever things occur, it seems to come from the northern end on confusion. I thought it was a good choice at the time. Tony was the one who brought it to my attention. And Tony does watch the weather very carefully. And I do respect him as a flyer and his opinion. I think he was wrong on this one. And I think I was wrong on this one. And we'll try not to let that happen again. So for those of you who are discouraged about it, next week will be the Lions race, the 300-mile race. And if this was to occur again, we will make arrangements for it to take place. Regardless, I will go out of my way, but I would appreciate it if you guys would speak up to me before it gets to that level. I'd like to hear your thoughts, not somebody else calling you, giving you, I think it's going to be this. I want to hear the individual. I want Raymond Galan to call me himself, not somebody call Raymond. Raymond, I think this is this is that. No, I want Raymond's opinion. I want Pablo's opinion. I want Alex's opinion, not a third party. This is a group effort, and everybody should have an input, not being manipulated by other people or swayed. And that was my weakness, because I didn't want to make a decision, because I didn't trust myself on making a good choice. Being after the fact, then people speak up. That's what I don't want. So next time, it's going to be a little different. That's all I want to say on this. I'm not fingering anybody or saying anything, anybody that's anybody else's fault but mine. It's my fault. It was my choice. And for my reasons on why it happened that way, again, it's my fault. I should have been a little more sterner and not listen as much. But that's a sign of just trying to get enough. And when you have politicians in a club, they can pool with other flyers and sway votes different ways. I want individual votes. I don't want one person grouping up with other people and coming to a decision. I want each person to put an input. So please call me and tell me what you think should happen on that day. I'm sure Timmy wanted a race. He was ready for it. I talked to him later on that day, and he was like, "Oh, we're not racing." So he was all gung-ho for it at the beginning. After the fact, it's like, okay, come see, come saw. If we race, we race. If not, we don't. But there was only 1 or 2 that were set on it. And the rest of them seemed to want to go the other way. So the vote was actually towards fly, and I didn't do it because I didn't hear it quick enough, and I didn't step up fast enough. When I did say we were going to fly, one of the individuals changed the game plan by saying the truck had to be worked on. I could have overrode that by saying, we'll take my truck. That's where the mistake was. Again, it's my fault. I'm sorry, men. It won't happen again. As for the flyers all over the country that are watching my videos, did you get your ticket? I've been waiting. As you can see, I need help down here. I need help making choices. I need help getting more flyers. Things like this wouldn't happen when you have a larger club. Come on down. Open up a goddamn feed store. Get a job. Leave New Jersey. Winter's coming. Leave New York. Winter's coming. Florida's beautiful. We're waiting. I don't hear no planes. Get that ticket. I'm out of here.